Actually, first let's talk legal disclaimer. Now let's talk growth. Growth is great. Growth is success. As my kids would say, growth is lit. I don't know what that means. As the saying goes, if you're not growing, you're dying. So by logical extension, growth is literally life. We all strive to grow as individuals and organizations. And business growth is fun. You have more customers you're helping and serving. You have more products and services you're creating and selling. You have more employees you're working with. And you're making more money. And we all love to make more money, especially in this town. So everything about growth is great, right? Well, growth is hard. Really hard. Like making money in a Vegas casino hard, which for me is seemingly impossible. You've probably heard of the Inc. 5000. Every year, Inc. magazine puts together a list of the 5,000 fastest growing companies in America. A few years ago, they did a follow-up study with the Kauffman Foundation and looked back at the companies that had been on the list 5 to 8 years prior. And they found something shocking. 2/3 of those companies, the fastest growing companies in America, had either shrunk in size, been sold at a low valuation, or were out of business altogether. 2/3. So growth is hard, but sustainable growth is really, really hard and statistically rare. And we know this from personal experience. NetSuite has grown a lot, thanks to many of you, with many of you, but it hasn't been easy. During my 10 years with the product team, we've grown that team, the product team, 12x, 12 times. We've grown from a few offices to over 20 offices in 16 different countries, needing to reinvent our processes and how we work along the way. So why is growth so hard? You have to answer and address a lot of difficult questions. When do you hire more employees, and how many, and who, and where? When do you launch a new product or service, and what product or service, and who do you sell it to? When do you go international, in which countries? How do you manage your growing supply chain? Do you in-house it or outsource it or both? How do you ensure good margins on projects? How do you not run out of cash? How do you stay close to your customers as you get bigger? How do you not become overwhelmed by all that complexity as you grow? It's a lot. So yes, growth is hard, but it is also great. And we're committed to helping you achieve your growth story. So throughout our history, we've strived to grow ahead of your needs. From the beginning, a single system to run a whole business, delivered in the cloud, was way ahead of its time. Cloud is now the standard. And others have tried to create suites or are creating suites, but they're way behind us. In 2002, we released executive dashboards, way ahead of the competition, loved by our customers. We've continued to reinvent, have some great things in the 19.1 release, and more things coming that we'll show you today. In 2008, we released One World. We saw that the world was becoming smaller, that even the smallest companies would need to trade and operate globally. And we now have customers operating in over 200 different countries. 6 years ago, it was omni-channel commerce. We saw that retail, distribution, and manufacturing were changing, that your customers would want to interact with you through multiple touch points: phone, web, in-store, and mobile. And we also saw that you would want to fulfill to them through multiple channels in your supply network. 3 years ago, it was suite billing. As we saw product businesses adding services and service businesses adding products and all kinds of businesses selling as subscriptions, inventing new business models, ripping up the rules of billing and rev rec. And we saw the need to put that in the core of your ERP system, and many of you are benefiting from that today. 2 years ago, we launched Suite People, HCM unified with ERP, commerce, and the rest of the system. Employees are the core of your business, so your HCM system needs to be at the core of your business system. And then last year was the Intelligent Suite, leveraging data science and machine learning across the suite, and you'll see some of the intelligent applications we're working on today. So to build all of that and the rest of the suite, we've invested nearly 19 million hours into creating and delivering the suite. That's nearly 10,000 person years of work. By comparison, the Empire State Building took only 7 million hours to build. We're way beyond that. That thing's small. Literally, we make it look small. And unlike many of our competitors, who have multiple products and multiple generations of products and versions and patch releases, and they have customers in all of them, and they're investing resources in a number of them. All those 19 million hours have gone into one product, the product you're using today. And we're not slowing down. In this coming year, we'll invest another 4 million hours into your product. So the obvious question is, that you're all here to hear, is what's next? But that's actually not the most important question. At a minimum, it's not the first question we answer. I want to share with you a little bit about how we think about product strategy and design. Instead of what, the key questions we focus on first are who, how, and why. We first get clear and focused on who we're solving problems for. I know the technical writers on my team are going to say it's for whom you're solving problems, but whom, how, and why just didn't sound as good. So who we're solving problems for, who we're helping succeed, who we're going to delight. And we think about it on 3 key dimensions: your industry, your country, and your role. And once we've determined who we're focused on, then we use empathy to deeply understand you and your needs. Next, we get clear on the how we're going to solve your needs, and not just solve them, but delight you. Solve them so well that you can't imagine doing your jobs any other way. And there are 4 ways we're doing this across the suite. The first is something we like to call sweetness. You all understand the benefit of a unified system. Sweetness is about taking that to another level, delivering visibility and automation that no point solution ever can. So think about what you could do in e-commerce web store search if you had all of your financial data about your items and your customers in your e-commerce system. Or what could you do in a self-service billing portal if your billing system had a world-class e-commerce platform built into it? Or how could you reimagine HR performance management if you had all of your ERP and commerce and other operational metrics in your HR system? Well, you don't have to answer them, we are. And actually, you know the answer to the last one, because Evan kind of stole it from me and presented it this morning, but he's the boss, so he gets to do that. But we're going to show you all 3 of these today. The second is analytics, better visibility to help you make better business decisions hundreds of times per day, leveraging, aggregating data from across the suite, and then delivering that visibility throughout the suite, not just in reports, but in dashboards and forms and many other pages. Third is intelligence, leveraging your rich company-wide data with sophisticated data science and machine learning to give you deeper insight, greater automation, and better interactions. And then finally, and maybe most importantly, is experience. We're focused on creating experiences that make it faster and easier for you to do your jobs. You're going to hear that faster and easier term a lot today, maybe because I'm too unimaginative to come up with another term, but more so because it's how I think all day long, how we think all day long, faster and easier, how can we make it faster and easier? Evan likes to make drinking games out of our presentations in Vegas, so I guess that'll be mine. But please drink responsibly because I'm going to say it a lot. A big part of that is creating experiences tailored for your role and for your task. So we're infusing all of these throughout the suite, and you'll see them infused through the demos today. Finally, we focus on the why. Why these products and services will help you succeed. And these are the fundamental benefits of NetSuite, your blueprint for growth, as Evan talked about this morning. The real-time visibility and insight across your business you need to make better business decisions. The control to achieve profitable, sustainable growth. The agility to adapt to new opportunities and the inevitable unforeseen challenges. Productivity to help you do your jobs more quickly and efficiently and enable scalable growth. And the collaboration across departments and teams delivered by a single unified system to run a business. So nailing the who, the how, and the why leads to the what. But the right what's delivered in the right ways to enable your growth and success. And we're very excited to show you some of that today. So today, in this conference, are really all about enabling your growth stories. So we've structured this presentation in terms of 2 growth stories, one for a product-focused business and one for a service-focused business. And as we've talked about, more and more companies are hybrids, blurring the lines. So much of what we'll talk about applies to most types of businesses. Financials is critical for every kind of business, so we'll cover how we're growing our financials capabilities across all industries. And finally, we'll describe the technology that we're creating to enable your growth, success, and competitive edge. So let's start with our product growth story. In distribution, manufacturing, and retail industries, there are multiple ways to